Opening bounce. Alessio has to wait. Taking the run was Cook to knock it down. And the Saints move it down towards half forward. Barnard gets a fist on it. Loose ball to Harvey. About 55 metres out from goal. He pulls it back towards full forward. Berbatov fisting away. Mercedes camped in front. Everett went in hard. Blumfield couldn't control it. Beveridge snaps it back towards full forward. Fumble by Berbatov. He slaps it towards the line. It goes across. And a boundary throw in.
Just a quick one, Dennis, on the interchange. We've got, obviously, we saw James Hurd, as Kevin Sheedy mentioned. Also David Calthorpe, Somerville and Moorcroft. St Kilda, Tony Brown, Healy, Lappin and Elliott.
Thrown in with Everett in front. Reaching over the top is Fletcher. Beveridge goes to ground. On top of him, O'Donnell. And to bounce about 25 metres out. And what about the structure of this St Kilda forward line, Stewie? They've got Hall at centre half forward, have they, or thereabouts?
Yeah, half forward flank, I think. Dennis and Big Peter Everett sort of just dropping down in the goal square with Jason Heatley. I think that could be a very good move.
And conversely, Dennis, Essendon have just got a 5-man forward line, and Darren Buick actually started at centre half forward, so Darryl Wakeland was free, so he's now pushed forward to pick up a St Kilda player.
So St Kilda get the first score. The rush behind. Essendon now working it away from the kick-off. Young goes wide. Too wide for Oloreen Shaw. And the boundary throw in. There's the St Kilda interchange bench. Healy, Brown, Elliott and Lappin. Lappin a late inclusion to the side. Justin Peckett withdrawn early this morning. Well, very, very crude there by Paul Barnard.
Just on Justin Peckett, he was out with the virus too, Tez.
Thanks, Fly. So Sierakowski into the forward line. Everett goes down, takes it well.
That's terrific closing speech, Stewie, to make up that ground. It looks as if it might have dropped short, and Dustin Fletcher's no slouch, but Everett off the mark made up great ground, didn't he?
Look, he's just really improved in that area. His agility for a big man is sensational, and he should have no problems kicking this one. He was kicking quite a few on Wednesday night of training from that exact spot.
So can we put our money on it, Stu?
Certainly.
Here we go. Peter Everett. Been so good all year for the Saints. He's kicked 32-21, and Stewie's let you down slightly.
Ooh, very close though.
To the near side. Stewie, I mean, the first shot at goal, it's always a bit of a look and see as well, isn't it?
Oh, it is, and I think it's just important to get your hands on the footy so early, and that'll do, you know, obviously it would have been nice for him to kick the goal, but to get an early touch, that'll be good for Spide, especially starting down the forward line.
O'Donnell taking plenty of time. Kicks in, Members side. In front, Johnson. Fisted away by Young. This is Mercedes. On right half back. He boots it up towards the wing. Alessio favoured by the kick. Takes the mark on his chest. Stephen Alessio back and in form. Well, having said that, into the man on the mark and out of bounds.
Yeah, well done to Cook there. Just held his ground. Alessio just not back far enough and tried to get the ball on quickly. Looking for Lucas. Well done by Cook.
They'll battle again. Cook works in front. His fingertips to it. Loose ball at the back of the pack. This is Wakeland. Shane Wakeland. Kicking it towards half forward now. Barnard. Sierakowski got a fist on it towards the boundary line. That was enough. Good result for the Saints. Jones tracks it across the line. And the Saints have two behinds. Essendon yet to score. The breeze not a factor. Similar day today as yesterday. Cloudy, chance of some drizzle, but no breeze. Sierakowski, the backhander now. Robert Harvey once more, twisting, turning forward of the wing, smothered off the boot by Blumfield. Denham, quick hands away. It comes back to Barnard, slaps it towards support and Mercedes. In goes Winmar, emerging with it is Mitchell. Chopped off there by Barnard, hacked out of midair by Burke. Goes inside the 50, relayed free kick.
Just great to see the intensity up so early in the game, especially from our boys. It's great to see.
Ozzie Jones right on the 50 then to increase the lead. Good crowd. And like Everett, he's missed to the near side.
So the physical pressure right at the fore in the early part of the game. St Kilda with 2 set shots at goal and 1 rush behind to get their 3. And Gary O'Donnell to do the kicking in once again. Essendon form the huddle. There's the break now to the outer side. He honours that, gives it to Mark Fraser. Off he goes, a little bit of space. Settles now on the right foot towards the wing. It's floated over the contest, charging it down. Campbell does very well, barging through. Great tackle from Olorenshaw, front on. Burke turns his body around to protect the ball well in the contest. Campbell again to Harvey. Possession number 3, inboard, Winmar gives it back to Harvey. There's 4. Short kick to Young's good. St Kilda sharing the ball around, being prepared to run, support each other, and there's their ultimate target, Everett. But here's some run. Zilla from the same position as Aussie Jones, and he's got it in there. So St Kilda do all the attacking in the opening couple of minutes, now rewarded with their first goal. Stephen Zilla.
Yeah, some great setup through the midfield. Burke's initial effort to get the ball on the outer wing was fantastic. Committed himself, protected the ball, as Terry said, with his body. Then Harvey, Winmar combining just to set that up through Young. And the player breaking free, Zilla here, Stu, he just did that well into the space, didn't he?
Steve actually started that run from well inside our back line, and just basically ran 100 metres and was rewarded at the end with the footy and the goal.
So the Saints led it by 9 points. The early going at Waverley. They've done all the attacking. Alessio and Cook. Denham. Blumfield kicking it down towards half forward. The man who got the goal, Stephen Zilla. Johnson goes in hard on him, 60 metres out from goal, pulls it back. Hutchton goes back, fingertips to it. Happy to concede. The margin is 8 points. Paul Barnard looking strong. He played well last week, but he was late on that one. Down goes Burke. Here's Young to the pocket. Wakelin. With a man on the mark. Long can punish them. Zilla, though, read it pretty well. Got in front of Buick and saves the day. Stephen Zilla.
So he's kicked the goal. Now he's saving play in defence. Drops it in short. This one's a Shane Wakelin on the run towards the near side. Jones can't take the mark. Pressure from Fraser was good. Olorenshaw at ground level. Twisting, turning. Brings it back inside to Young. Barry Young had his first game for the Bombers last week. In fact, the 38th player to represent Essendon this year. So they're testing their list. Other Bombers. Lloyd, short to Denham. It's over his head though. Winmar looking to gather. Can't. Denham again. Harvey, short, can't clear the area. Jones tries to off the ground. They need just a quick kick here to clear the area. So Buick does do that. Tosses it up. Burke camps underneath it. Beaten by Blumfield. Blumfield, who has the job on Robert Harvey, being busy, slots in towards Long beautifully.
Well, Michael Long tried to do the right thing the last time they had that ball in the forward pocket by coming inside to square the ball up. He probably could have had a shot at goal. His kick just went astray. Now he gets a chance to atone here. Such a dangerous player so close to goal.
So as you saw there from St Mary's in Northern Territory, and what a legend he is up there. And a legend down here. Returned round 12 with 3 goals. He's kicked 1 goal twice since. He's kicked another one here this afternoon. So long replies for the Bombers.
There's this rain falling out. The ball's going to be on the deck a fair bit, so players with skill will come to the fore here. And Michael Long just setting up here. It's a good kick. It's just an important one to reply to the Zilla goal, who'd run off half-back, as Stewie Lowe said. But Essendon will always come back at you. I was a bit surprised in the starting setup that Calthorpe didn't start on the ground picking up Robert Harvey, but Blumfield does have that job at the moment.
The Saints by 2 points. Alessio has to wait. Cook with the spring. Masidi. Olorenshaw the fumble. Head down Hardwick. Came out backwards very quickly. Mitchell camped over it. Denham goes in on him. And the whistle.
And Essendon starting very short again in this forward line. Just basically a 4-man forward line with Long and Buick around centre half forward.
Steve McBurney bounces it down. Cook doing well in there. Clean possession. Hurried kick. It floats towards centre half forward. Sierakowski did the hard work. Couldn't complete the mark. Through the legs of Hall. Masidi applies a strong tackle. Olorenshaw, I think it is, who burrows in. At the base of that is Thompson.
Dennis, just a quick question for Stewie. Is it a deliberate tactic for Barry Hall to try and keep Sean Wellman out of that busy area of the corridor? Because Wellman has had such a good season so far.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, Russ. I think Barry's obviously plays his best footy when he's moving around, so I don't think he'll consciously be trying to take him out of the play, but just trying to move him around as much as possible.
So Essendon under pressure at half-back. Olorenshaw just a quick kick towards the boundary line. Wide. Shane Wakelin there. Johnson keeps it alive, just flicks it on out. Sierakowski taken in the tackle. Beveridge. Handballs. Winmar. Back in board. Shane Wakelin again on the left foot. Dangerously towards the square. Heatley couldn't take it. Cleaned up by Barry Young again. Bombers are away. Fletcher tosses it on out wide. It's a foot race here. The big man, Alessio with Young. Alessio doing well in the front spot. Wins the ball well. What? Fraser supports. Now it's the Denham. Bombers on the burst towards the goal square. Contest? No contest at all. Lloyd's got it.
That's great running, and the pressure that was applied to Fletcher was great from Nathan Burke. He had to get his ball kick away quickly, but then Steve Alessio kept front position and controlled the footy, had the players running path over the lines, and we set up a good scoring opportunity here with Matthew Lloyd.
So Lloyd, one of 5 Bombers to play every game, and the youngest Bomber out there today. 39 goals, 32 behinds. My calculator told me that's 55% return. So I'd look for a better one than that from your full forward. So he's 50-50 here. He's on the right side of 50-50 though.
The Bombers lead it by 4 points. Great transference of play along the members' wing. Some hard running in there. Everett goes up to tap it down. This is Harvey. Blanketed off the boot. It wanders out towards the wing. Shane Wakelin's got it now. Looks downfield, kicks inside the 50 towards the pocket. This could skid on. Fletcher gets across, stops it hard against the line, tries to get back to Berbikov. Heatley in there, and we've got a boundary throw in.
Well, Dennis, Stanell's making a quick change. They're taking off the ruckman Brett Cook and bringing on Tony Brown. So obviously concerned with the conditions, the ball being on the ground for most of this quarter.
I have to say, for all of that, Cook played some valuable minutes right there. There he is again, deflecting it into a dangerous spot for the Bombers, almost a push in the back on Heatley.
Well, why isn't that a free kick? I mean, you've got to protect the player going for the footy. Surely. That's why players want front position.
No argument. We've got a bounce about 15 metres out from goal. Cook kept out of it this time. Young, clean possession, falling to the ground. Hurried kick, back towards half-back. Thompson bounced off his chest. This is Winmar, quiet last week, off his step, back towards the middle. Gives it away. Johnson plays on to Mercedes. Mercedes up towards midfield. Probing kick. Getting across though is Campbell. And Campbell takes the mark on his chest.
Wastes no time. Goes towards Everett while he was clear. And the big man takes the mark. Half forward. Another lead. Sierakowski. Oh, you don't do that, Stewie. If you can get one hand to it, surely you can get 2 to it.
Yeah, just I think he relaxed a little bit there, David. I think maybe the looming boundary line just put him off slightly.
Spider reminded him a couple of times too, so to go for it 2 hands, son.
So here he does the ruck work against Barnard. Bombers. Blumfield runs into trouble. Tony Brown just on the ground. Quick kick towards the square. Wellman dropping back takes it. Been a fine defender for the Bombers.
They're certainly getting some numbers back in deep into our forward line.
Hardwick. He's the man who controls the Bombers' defence as Hardwick. Sets much of the play up. Young. Again short. Mercedes. Tries to play on. Slips over. The umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. So Bombers just maintaining possession here, looking to create a break. The long kick towards the contest. The long. Campbell does well to spoil. Big man Lucas does the roving exchange of handball. O'Donnell, the quick kick to centre half forward. Everett getting back now in the ruck position. Shane Wakelin back. He's been very good in defence in the opening part of the quarter. The kick a little high for Jones. Travels over the top of that pair. He and Fraser, and out of bounds. Aussie Jones really looking for the handle on the footy. Been a bit of a struggle for him this year, Stu, for Oz.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, but I've just really noticed a lift in his intensity on the track in the last couple of weeks, so we're really hoping for a big final fling into the final series.
Winmar finds Brown. The oldest to the youngest, now to Beveridge. Away he goes. This is the perfect kick into centre forward. That is where you want the footy. Heatley from outside 50. Let's go the long one right towards the line. It's gone to the wrong side of the post.
So we certainly moved that ball a lot quicker through the midfield, and it just enabled our forwards to get that front spot and first use of the footy.
Particularly, Stu, too, when they've been crowding you, as you mentioned before, they've been really getting back in those numbers, so the space has been limited. So when you do get that chance to move it quickly, that's what the forward wants. And it was a good mark by Heatley too. Should have got the goal from that opportunity. He's a very good kick.
Backing from there.
Yeah, you would.
O'Donnell to himself, runs away, kicks it towards the outer side. Good mark by Wellman, lifting in from the side. Goes to Winmar, plays on immediately. This is Fletcher, driving it down towards half forward Lucas. Hudson right there, got a fist on it, well played, finds it on the ground, slips the hand pass away. Over the head of Campbell, time to recover. Campbell, interesting kick, that one down towards the pocket. The Hearts race around the ground, Zilla drops the mark. Darryl Wakeland picks up the footy, it was 2-on-1. Advantage was paid, it was going to be a Saints free. This is Matthew Young kicking it up towards the wing. Going back is Hardwick. For a minute, Campbell was going to take a shot at goal. Hardwick down towards half forward. Good grab on the lead by Lucas, but a free kick has been paid to the Saints. They'll go to Shane Wakeland. At centre half back, the side is down by 3 points. Sets a little pick there. As Harvey comes away in another possession, driving it to the outer side. Sierakowski, untidy hand pass, a little too casual. Jones knocks it to his own advantage, runs to the 50, dragged down. Great chase from Young, or was it? Yes, it was. He's rewarded with a free kick.
It'll be interesting to see if the runner goes out to David Sierakowski there, handballing.
He's right there now, Stewie.
So St.Kilda with the chance here. The handball from Sierakowski just a little bit off the mark, and Jones eventually ran down by Barry Young.
Was he actually tackled or pushed? Because if he was pushed, it should have been play on.
Yep.
St Kilda, here they come again. Gavin Mitchell back into the side this week, into the forward line. Bouncing ball, Olorenshaw and Winmar. Olorenshaw has the ball, Winmar has Olorenshaw. Goes the line, surely that's deliberate. Yes.
And a blood rule too, I'd say. Yes, he's off. Just a cut under that right eye, but umpire right on the spot there saying you deliberately went for the line. You didn't disguise that very well. So no benefit of the doubt given there to Ricky Olorenshaw.
Roscoe, just while we're waiting on this blood rule, it's very difficult just to distinguish the teams between the two colours of the teams down on this ground level in this dark play, because they're both wearing red, white and black. And just watching Matthew Young, who's normally a pretty good disposer of the footy, he's just kicked it straight to an Essendon player. Whether it was a genuine mistake or maybe he just mistook an Essendon player for a St Kilda player. So just be mindful of that one. It is difficult to tell the difference.
So the change occurring, interchange. David Calthorpe, the player coming on. Olorenshaw off to get some treatment. Calthorpe had a nervous week where he was cleared by the tribunal for a tripping charge, but was very good last week against Matthew Knights in the game. So he now comes on, and we'll go straight over to Mickey Winmar. In actual fact,
no, Calthorpe's now gone to Harvey. Wheels,
yep.
yes. And Blumfield's gone across to Winmar.
So here's Winmar with his kick. Sets it up at the top of the square. Very disciplined. Thompson has the chance. Runs onto it. Handball's back. Here's Heatley. Back towards Thompson. Trying to create something. A quick kick. It's not going to score, I don't think. Goal umpire and boundary have a good look at it.
It's interesting there, Terry. They had every player in our forward half of the ground there.
Olorenshaw.
Hurds onto a half-forward flank, being picked up by Matthew Young.
Meantime, Barry Young out of the back pocket. This is Thompson. Close to the boundary line. Gains about 30 metres. Hall had to wait. Everett the crumb pushed off it initially. Deep in the pocket, Jones pulls it back. Good effort from there. Sierakowski pushed out of the way by Barnard. Brown a half chance. Denham over the shoulder. Barry Young once more out of the back pocket towards midfield. Good kick coming out. Fraser thinks about it, lays it off now behind Calthorpe. Not a good hand pass. He had to check and go back. Still, let it look okay. Back to Mercedes. Mercedes broadens the attack. This is Hardwick pushing up towards the wing. On the lead in front, Lloyd almost. Wakeland kept his feet, well played. Darryl Wakeland, outer side half-back flank, dragged off it. It goes directly to Hardwick. Hardwick skids one inside the 50. Slapped out of there by the defender, Hudson towards the line, and that will do. Across it goes, boundary throw in.
That's a great defensive effort to get a hand on it like that by Hutchinson, to push the ball along the boundary line and out of the attacking area. Change two now is Young is off the ground for Essendon and Moorcroft is on.
And Hurd's on there doing the ruck work against Young. Mitchell gives it to Campbell. Campbell on the step, kicks it high towards the wing. Wellman going back, runs into a little bit of trouble there with Blumfield. Now wins the ball, was tackled. Quick handball again to O'Donnell, intercepted by Brown. He's on his non-preferred foot, but does well to drag it back around. Heatley in front. Berbatov spoils. Sarakoski again just loses it with a little fumble, but quick enough now to regain it, bring it back around. But misses everything. So James Hurd onto the ground. Has injured in his hamstring 3 times this year, and the first time was in round 2 against the Bombers.
Barry Young going off the ground too. He's had 8 kicks.
And has been very good. Sometimes you wonder whether there is preconceived moves that perhaps should be thrown out when the side's going well, because I think the defence of Essendon's doing quite well at this stage. Lucas, front spot. Off he goes, the left foot. Great chase, Harvey. The pressure's enough for Lucas just to get a quick kick in. This will test Hurd now.
Interesting too with Hurd coming on as he did too, Wills. He's been sitting on the bench for some 18 or 19 minutes with a hamstring. You've got to cut him on pretty cold. It does put some pressure on that player.
Interesting to know whether he was sitting on the bike and pedalling or doing something, because he would need to have kept warm since the warm-up.
Boundary throw in. Shane Wakeland directs it down in front. Young has it. High floating kick around the outer side. Beveridge camped in front. Hardwick hit it hard. Mercedes falling to the ground. Back to Hardwick. It bounces in front of Aussie Jones. Jones still going. Slaps it wider. Burke, nicely done. Kneeling, got it across to Zilla. Pretty slick there for Young. Young gains about 15 metres. Sliding in was Hurd. Off his hands and across the line. Tough game so far. The feel of a big game. It's certainly that for both these clubs. The Saints looking to go back on top of the table, and Essendon a chance to force their way into the 8 for the first time since round 11. That's in the back to Mitchell. Surely play goes on. Wrestling him down is Hurd. A whistle and a bounce just forward of left centre wing.
I don't want to harp on it, Dennis, but it's got to be a free kick. You just have to look after the bloke who's making the play,
particularly on a breezy day like today. Some light rain a few moments ago. Stopped now. In front. Campbell did well. Knocks it across to Shane Wakeland. Under the pump. Lloyd got him. Loose ball. Campbell bounced around like a man on a pinball table there. Meantime, camped over the ball was Fletcher, and a bounce.
Dustin Fletcher along with Mark McCurry looking to confirm contracts with the Bombers for a 3-year period. Here he goes again. Hurd, the quick kick out into the space, bounces there. Lucas in front, does well, looks for Long, misses him, hits it on the up to Buick. Is that legal? The umpire says it is. Buick's got Calthorpe, and he has messed everything up there.
Right, you said by Calthorpe. Yeah, it's interesting with that knock up by Long. If he had a clenched fist, it's okay, but if it's an open hand,
he's paid the mark. You're kidding, Hayden Kennedy, there is no way that this is a mark. No way.
Well, the player had his back to Kennedy, and Kennedy perhaps thinking that the goalpost caused the ball to come out.
This is an example of where perhaps the boundaries or the goal umpires could be of assistance to the field umpire, because there's no way Hayden Kennedy was in a position to see what we saw. Be that as it may, here comes Calthorpe from the line. Justice is given to the St.Kilda supporters. He's missed.
Yep, quite right.
Rocky, can you hear me, mate? Rocky, can you hear me, mate?
So here it is here, Stu. That takes control of it there and drops, and then into the post. So St Kilda, the Wakeland boys work together. Stewie, they've been very good for the side and defence, the two Wakelands.
Yeah, since Shanners has gone, they've really stepped up and taken a real leadership role in the back line. They've been great.
There's Darrell to Everett. Twisting and turning and running out of space. It comes back to him. Fletcher did well. put a hand on the ball. Campbell took a divot, replaced that immediately. Here's Brown going to the ground, hand passes back, looking for Thompson. Thompson bouncing around, worked off it by Mercedes, well played. Mercedes' hand pass, O'Donnell slipped over, gets a backhand on the ball to the voice, supplied by Buick. Buick hugs the boundary line, working in a telephone box there. They did very well. Long trying to be a bit too clever. Winmar comes in, knocked it away. Denham falls over. That was in the back perhaps. And we've got a free kick finally. And this one is going to Denham against Elliott. Denham quickly, short. Wellman. Buick, who played so well last week against the Tigers, kicking it high. Wakeland, timely fist on it. Down in front was Harvey, just missed on the way through. Calthorpe grabs it, chance to make amends. Calthorpe is kicked another behind.
Just seem the players now have finished playing at the left-hand end of the ground and now want to play down the right-hand end, because it's all been down here in the Essendon forward line for the last 3 or 4 minutes. They've been peppering away at it. Stan Alves coming down, in charge of game number 108. And just the one goal on the board, the first one. Essendon have got the last 2. Zilla, who was the goal scorer, working in defence to Campbell. Winmar and Harvey providing runs, so they're coming directly across the ground. Here's the setup now towards Darryl Wakeman. Drops it but has time. No, he doesn't have time to get away from Lucas at all. Does very well in the tackle. Buick, trip, play on it. It's in the field of play. Moorcroft, left foot towards the square. The Bombers are camped underneath it. Lloyd's got it. Gives it off to Long on the left foot. He goes, doesn't go. He's okay.
Just held up. It's a costly drop mark there too by Darryl Wakeland. The ball coming across the ground and a good move to try and create something down this member's side. And just spilt the ball, and the tackle was applied to him. He couldn't get the handball away long enough to find a teammate. And this is what's resulted.
So Michael Long, without doubt, one of the great players of modern day football, settles over the ball, 15 metres out. The Bombers now have got 3.
It was so disappointing for St Kilda. As I said, they were trying to set something up down this other side, and just to have this spilt mark here, we see Wakeland being tackled, and then Buick comes in to control the footy quite cleverly, and then they had players going through, and Moorcroft got some good distance with his kick. And Lloyd sat that and protected the ball pretty well. Unselfishly passed it off. Long thought about going on, but steady, went back and kicked the goal.
Three to 1 Thor, almost quarter time, and the Saints under pressure in their defence. And when you look at it, a lot of quality players to match up on down there. Blumfield knocks it wide. Everett picks it up, slips it away to the run of Harvey. Harvey goes inside the 50, copybook stuff, and Heatley takes the mark about 40 metres out from goal.
This is his spot, Stuart, isn't it? This area here, he should be able to put this through.
Yeah, he's definitely the best kick at goal we've got at the club. You know, these are his bread and butter. I think he should have no problem at all.
And compliments here to David Sierakowski too on the ruck to get that ball free and allow a set up through Everett and Harvey.
It just makes it so much easier for the key forwards when the ball is streaming down through the centre corridor. You can break either side and you know, really get that advantage on your opponent.
Jason Heatley will kick after the siren. 36 goals on the season.
Great kick.
And that's straight through. 47 now, and they needed that one. And they pull the margin back to just 5 points at quarter time at Waverley. That was textbook stuff coming out of the centre. Everett, the little hand pass. Harvey on the overlap. That's how you like it. We're just making the point there, Stewie, that defence under pressure, and they've got some quality players down there, the Bombers.
I don't think our defence has been too bad. We've had some winners down there, but you know, I think it's that constant attack into the forward line by Essendon was really damaging.
Start of the second term at Waverley. Alessio wins it down, but only as far as Burke. Burke kicking towards half forward. Awkward bounce. Sierakowski, third man in the queue, got it. Thompson to Mitchell, 55 metres out. He kicks it down towards the pocket. In from the side, Everett almost bounced off his chest, on his knees. Heatley tries to go to Harvey. Harvey bumped off the loose ball. Mitchell slickly away. Harvey's got it now, spots a man in close and gets it to Brown.
Great balance, Robert Harvey. He's given a decent hip and shoulder by Hardwick, but just kept his footing, got the handball through, and then just got his short kick off to set this up.
So Tony Brown will kick from about 35 metres out, slight angle. This for the lead, provided it's a goal, of course. It's going to be close. It's bending around nicely. Saints in front.
And Stewie, just the importance there in keeping the ball alive. The Everett attempted mark was a good one. The ball came to ground. He still got it again, and then Harvey just keeping his feet to set that up.
Yeah, it's exactly what we need in the forward line. You've just got to basically just keep that ball moving, and eventually something will open up. And just great to see Rob really balance himself, and he could have had a ping, but he's really picked the right option there.
So Tony Brown puts the St Kilda back in front. They led early in the first, then Essendon back, and Essendon got out to an 11-point lead during the first quarter. The Saints working their way back. Exchange of handball ends up with Hardwick on the left to half forward, Long from the air and then to the ground to have a go at. Denham pulled off the ball.
The initial free kick to Long, though, Burke just tackled and turned him around without the footy.
To half forward. Body work by Mercedes. Hurd, a little bit of space. A long handball to Mercedes. He's got the room. All he has to get around is Calthorpe, and he can't.
Great tackle by Berkey there.
It was more Calthorpe's ball, wasn't it, with Mercedes to Shepherd?
But as Stewie says, you don't get by Nathan Burke, do you?
No, he's just a real terrier and great inspiration to everyone.
Everett, front position, drops it down. Everett comes again with what I'm not sure how we're going to describe that.
We tried to kick a banana, I think, to try and bring it back in play, or keep it in play, I should say, and it just went straight ahead. If you don't get the ball in the end, you hit it more towards the middle. It always goes straight ahead rather than having the banana effect.
Has he got a left foot, Stuart?
He's got a great left foot, but he's got a pretty ordinary right
foot. Yeah. So Lucas, a long way out towards the square, 20 metres out, they fly. Lloyd couldn't take it. Winmar at ground level, steps on out the back door. Now has time to set something up for the Saints. Misses the first option, now goes towards the second. It's Jones, can't get it. Wellman, tackle from Elliott was great. Thompson, the pressure from both sides is right on. There's a lot at stake, and the ball again to be bounced.
Terry, just a quick interchange update for St Kilda. We have Healy, Lappin, Hall and Cook. Essendon, Calthorpe, Young, Johnson, Ollerenshaw.
Dustin Fletcher does the ruck work. Calthorpe straightening himself up onto the right. Lloyd goes down, slipped himself, and Zilla just covers the ball over for another rush behind to the Bombers to tie the score line up at 22 points apiece. Essendon's season has really been in blocks after a loss and 2 wins, and then they had 4 losses, 4 wins, 3 losses, and now 2 wins. Whereas St Kilda have been consistent right throughout. They haven't lost 2 in a row since early last year. O'Donnell over the back. Barnard slaps it back the Bombers' way. Harvey, another possession, drags it back around. Moorcroft will cover this. Started on the interchange bench, Gary Moorcroft. Last time they met in round 2, he picked up 6 goals. Not a bad afternoon's work in an 89-point win.
I saw that one. He played wonderfully well. Took a specky. Everett directs it down. Mercedes very much in the game across the body. It bounces through centre wing. Wakeland. Burke couldn't control it. Harvey taken high, and he'll get the free kick. Well, he's got the free, but he's not a happy camper at the moment.
Well, suggesting that he's telling the umpires being held on before he actually got to the contest in the first place.
Harvey towards half forward, showing the judgment was Wellman. Paid the mark. Elliott saying he touched the ball on the way through. Nothing doing. Sean Wellman played very well last week against Richmond. Cross half back, sends play towards the outer side. Harvey did well, punching from behind through the legs of O'Donnell. Just directs it cleverly across to Mercedes to Calthorpe inside the centre square. Calthorpe kicks inside the 50. Darryl Wakelin backed himself against the ball. This is Buick. Back across the body. Vacant square. Getting back is Campbell. And the youngster played it well. The behind gives the Bombers the lead. 3-5, 3-4. Barry Hall riding ever so slowly. Cook. The remainder of the bench. Wakelin. That's Darryl. Hugging the boundary. Brown dropped it. Blumfield applies the tackle and the ball pushed across the line.
Just a quick change. Oliver Shaw back on for Moorcroft, Dennis, and Moorcroft paying a penalty just for a small mistake on that outer wing. He's just spending some time on the bench.
So Alessio and Everett in the front position just drops it down at the left. But not enough room there to move, and Robbie Harvey just coming up holding that right arm. It'd take a bit to stop him though, Stu, wouldn't it?
I certainly would. He's one of the strongest guys at the club. He's amazing.
That doesn't look good though, does it?
No, it doesn't. Looks like a wrist of some description in that contact he made. The Essendon player.
So the Brownlow medalist, and certainly one of the favourites for this year's medal. Just a little bit of trouble there with that right forearm. Meanwhile, Spider Everett from the wing will kick towards half forward, looking for a contest and some rovers to get underneath it. Just floats on over the top, off Elliott's foot over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Gee, I hope like hell it's not a break there. I hope it's just a bruising or a sprain. I mean, it doesn't look to be any...
It looks all right now.
Yeah. He might have just hit a nerve and just lost the feeling there for some time, causing the pain.
And the St Kilda supporters are supporting Robert Harvey as he walked away from the trainers there with a round of applause. Everett, the long kick. Berbakoff going back. Oh, has to take it and has.
Yeah, great mark. You've got to pay that in these conditions. And is that 50?
It should be. Umpire Steve McBurney, is it, back there in charge? He should have applied the 50-metre penalty. Harvey looking a lot better there now. So Berbakoff from deep in defence for the Bombers to the outer side. Everett from behind, can't hang on to the ball. Olorenshaw back onto the ground, slaps it out wide to keep it moving. Does that. Fletcher eventually kicks the centre half forward. Hurd not turning around too sharply there at all. Young's the quicker back onto the ball with the left out wide towards Burke. Burke and Denham too hard at it, men. Denham probably overstepped the mark here and pushed him in the back, plus a 50-metre penalty.
Yep.
So Robert Harvey there, that's where it occurred earlier on, that left forearm. He seems okay. But Sean Denham being taken back 50 metres, so Burke forward of the centre, plays on now, kicks to the most dangerous spot on the ground, 30 metres out for the Saints. They all fly for it. Olorenshaw can't pull it back in, has to hit it out wide. The Saints trying to get it out, they can't. So all of a sudden, the pressure back, and something silly's occurred. Damien Hardwick has just gone one step too far, according to the umpire.
Yes, and Essendon continue to try and flood the St Kilda forward line. All the players up once more. And if a goal results from this, we see the congestion mounts. There's about 15 to 16 players involved in this. The umpire blows it up. And what happens from here? Hardwick's on the ground, Heatley's standing.
And all of a sudden, the roles are reversed. So Heatley has the chance. He has kicked 1-1. He has kicked 2-1. He doesn't miss him. Goal umpire waiting from the all clear. Field umpire finally remembers to give it, and he will indicate a goal to Heatley.
Brad Cook's moved back into the ruck, and Peter Everett's down to full forward, so just giving us a little bit more height in the forward line.
Yeah, because that then ties up Dustin Fletcher, which means that they can't have that player running free, although Willman at the moment is still a spare man. Down on the ground, Stephen Zilla's free.
St Kilda lead by 5 points. 4-4-3-5. Bounce. One down by Cook, taken away by Buick. Down towards half forward. Awkward bounce for Young. That was unlucky. Wakeland missed it as well. Harvey gets back his first possession now since entering that right arm. Looping hand pass. Winmar driving around the outer side. Hardwick gets across and knocks it away from Brown. Boundary throw and outer side. Ill-tempered affair over the last few minutes. Cook has done well against Alessio. Harvey into the action again. Hurriedly hugs the boundary. Gains about 15 metres and trickles across in front of Joe Mercedes. Harvey, 14 possessions now. Mercedes not far behind. He's got 12. Cook giving away some height here too, but his positioning's been very good. And again there, but waiting in front was Buick. The kick directly to Zilla, who got the first goal in the game. Zilla, outer side wing. Sends it long down towards the attacking 50. Everett could have been pushed in the back there. No free kick. Fletcher paid the mark. Showed good composure and judgment. Kicks it high. Blumfield, likewise, drifting in, takes the mark. He's on the wing. Blumfield down towards half forward. Going back is Hurd. Couldn't control it. Lucas wheeling around in characteristic fashion, pulls it back towards the middle. Barnard has to wait and took a very good mark. Barnard, who collided heavily with the goalpost last week at the MCG, came off the ground, came back, playing in good form and with plenty of heart at the moment. Not a good kick though. Shane Wakeland on his chest, unopposed, and both the Wakelands seeing plenty of the ball. His 8th possession comes across the ground to Burke. Darrell's had 7. Meantime, this is Campbell thinking about the hand pass. What a fair way off. The ball a bit happened. Meantime, Brown's got it. Calthorpe slow to get up. Brown kicks it down to the 50. Taken by Beveridge. Men on in the middle. Beveridge holds on too long, I fancy. Everett comes on the lead. He pokes it in that direction. Hangs in the air. Fletcher got there. Wellman the crumb. And towards the boundary line. Renshaw gets it up.
Dennis, I don't know whether you saw, but Nicky Winmar shepherded Sean Denham a beauty about 5 metres off the ball, just down on the half-back line. So it hurt Denham a lot.
Stu, can I just ask you a couple of times there, do you think the team's been too Everett conscious? The other side, Sierakowski made a lead, it wasn't on it, they kicked long to Everett, same thing happened again?
Yeah,
I know he's a fantastic player, but if there's other options short, I want to go to them.
I think we're obviously going to have to really mix it around. We're obviously, I don't think we've taken a contested mark inside our 50, and we've really just got to break it up. And with that extra man down there, we've just got to chip it sideways and just try to create something.
So Stewie Lowe is joining us in the commentary box here on Channel 7 for the afternoon. Sitting quietly composed at this stage, Stewie, but it's going to be a tough one. I think the Bombers aren't going to let this one go at all.
I think it's going to be a real battle all day.
The umpires bring that back because he allowed the advantage to go on, but in fact they're saying that the advantage wasn't there with Kelper because he did play on, so the ball's coming back. Blumfield will take his kick.
And I think there's something to be said for the umpires to be controversial because it does bring the crowd into it. Ross, they're really starting to rock into this game now. Blumfield from half-back, long towards half-forward. No contest, Fraser takes it. Quick hands, Hurd towards centre-half forward. High flyers are wanted. Berbakoff from behind. Heatley does the roving. The short kick on out isn't a good one. Needed to clear the area. Blumfield now will toss it back. And toss is the right word because it wasn't a kick going directly to a player. It was tossed up too high. Eventually long back into Mercedes. 45 metres out. Mercedes, he's got it in there. He's got it through. Essendon coming back. Essendon back in front by the one behind. Tough work from this side of the ground, but Mercedes on the far side finishes it off.
Yes, it was a good effort by Mercedes because it was untidy kick off the boot it looked, but Michael Long just setting this up, just coming back inside, and Mercedes just getting that on the boot. Looks like it might have been a bit wobbly, but it went pretty straight. And they've struggled to get the ball inside 50 in this quarter, and once they have, they've actually scored.
Great running goal by Joe Mercedes for the lead. 14 possessions for Joe now. His season's high 32 against Port Adelaide back in round 15. Out of the middle, this is Healy. Got it from Winmar. Kicks inside the 50. Berbikov in front. Had it knocked away by Heatley. Picked up by Hardwick. Hardwick towards the outer side. Well, there he is again. Mercedes driving it down towards half forward. Cleared Young. Darryl Wakelin committed to the ball. 3 Saints out there. Campbell picks it up. Good pressure really there from Lloyd. Eventually, Healy on the outer side. Hard against the line. Kicks it towards the outer side wing. Nobody in that pack touched the ball, but it will be a free kick. It'll go the Bombers' way. Hurd to take it. Hardwick. Mercedes. Nobody near him. Joe Mercedes down towards half forward. Hunston knocks the ball towards the boundary, and that will do. Lucas looks back longingly at the umpire. Nothing doing there. So a throw in outer side, about 75 metres out from the Bombers' attacking goal. They lead by a point in the game they need to win to get back into the top 8. Cook knocks it down. Alessio, Hurd, plenty of company there. Alessio directed it down to a man who certainly was hot.
It was interesting to see Joe Mercedes there with those types of stats sitting out there on the wing by himself. Still no one picking him up.
So there's still space to be found at Waverley if you're prepared to run and run hard. Mercedes is doing that here this afternoon. Ola Renshaw for the Bombers aggressively at it. Lucas down at ground. Hurd somehow gets something on out to Buick. He in return back to Calthorpe. Scrubs it to half forward. Beveridge turns it back the Saints' way. A little bit of space here if Brown can gather. Back isn't all that good. Healy will come round onto his left foot. Kicks into the man standing virtually on the mark. Brown has a second go. He's tossed around 360 degrees. Play on, says the umpire. Beveridge off the ground. Buys 30 metres for a boundary throwing forward side of the wing for the Saints.
I'm not sure why the crowd's going wild, because there's not a free kick there. They're saying he should have been holding the ball. You've got to have some chance to get rid of it.
I guess the question is, how far can he be spun around? Well, it was a fair spin.
Give him a break, Wills.
Fraser, Mercedes, the Bombers coming again from the boundary, thrown to centre half forward. Hudson didn't get it. Gets a second go with assistance from Waiten, and Big Alessio comes in to sit on him. Forces the ball up. Max Hudson to boot in round 1 last year, and then ended up being selected for Victoria this year. So it's been a very good find for the Saints. Centre half forward, Bombers. Hurd out of the congestion, bounces, tacked it here by Wakelin. Darryl, handballs on out, free kick to Wakelin in the back.
That's great play by Darryl there. Just really attacked the footy hard.
This is what the free kick was for. Tackle from behind, obvious free kick.
Wakelin goes short. This is Hudson. Hudson in turn. This time to Zilla. Nicely done. Creates some space, runs out of defence then and kicks it high towards the wing. Hauls the target, up he goes. Couldn't complete the mark. It spins towards the boundary and goes across.
He's just come back onto the ground to replace David Sierakowski.
Ozzie Jones on the table. Tossed in. Wellman from behind. Buick getting plenty of the ball. Back inside the 50. In front, missed by Long. Hurd's got it now. Good tackle laid by Campbell. Across it comes to Long. 35 metres out. Kicking it his third. Oh, great finish.
Just the importance there too of James Hurd to get the ball in the first place and then just give it to the advantage of Long, who we knew was free. Good vision. We saw the kick coming in. Long went to ground. Hurd just got up in the tackle, just pushed it forward. Knew Long had some space. And one of those players you'd have very much at the top of your list to have the ball in that situation.
So Michael Long's third goal steps Essendon out by 7 points. From the centre bounce, the Bombers again through Buick to half forward. Wakelin gets back. Darryl gives it to Max Hudson. Half forward, Cook misses it. Fraser, he gathers it up. Handballs back towards Fletcher on the burst. Runs into a bit of trouble with the Saints. Calthorpe can't get past. Hall. Off the ground by Ola Renshaw, and Wakelin again.
we're just really falling down across our half-forward line. Just can't seem to be getting it through.
Darryl Wakeland, mark number 6, gives it to Zilla. So here we are at half-forward where Stewie wants to get the ball through, but Fletcher again does enough. Does enough against Brett Cook to win the boundary throw-in. David Calthorpe either asking where is he or where is my opponent.
Where is my opponent?
And heads towards him. Cook down to Lappin. First run on the ground. Good work. Oh, great smother. Ola Renshaw just dives at the ball, gives Hurd the chance. He in turn to Blumfield. Back to Hurd. They've spun it out wide. Alessio should run onto it. Barnard comes at it. Back again. O'Donnell, you're kidding. The man from the back goes long. Lloyd got it. The smother from Blumfield. Was it Ross back in here?
Ola Renshaw.
Very fantastic. Yeah, no, even Stewie reported that. Just great effort. The players coming back just to applaud him.
So the ball being able to be turned around by the Bombers right on the wing just when Lappin was on the burst heading towards centre half forward for the Saints.
Interesting situation. Lappin had just run through the interchange gates as Thompson comes off under the blood rule and virtually just ran onto the ball. I suppose just that hesitancy of just trying to get into the game, held onto it a bit too long. Don't expect that sort of introduction.
So Thompson off, Mitchell the player on, and Matthew Lloyd the player to take the shot. He has an 8-goal bag in league football against his name in the middle of last year. Kicked 10 out here at Waverley in the Ansett Cup. A young player with a long and bright future. And if he keeps kicking like that, why not? So Lloyd gets his second goal. The Bombers have kicked the last 3.
I think we've really got to try to play a possession game now. We're going to have to really chip it around a little bit more and try to get it into the midfield as much as possible, because we're really just falling down across that half-forward line with key marking forwards.
Yes, you've certainly had enough of the footage, Drew. You're quite right. You've been forced wide a bit, so coming through that middle corridor, the straightest way to home is going to be the secret.
Six minutes out from half-time. A handy lead now. 13 points for the Bombers. Buick left it behind. Burke claimed by Hurd. Harvey going nowhere. And certainly, Roscoe, you've got to say, Essendon playing with a great degree of passion today.
Yes, no question there. And they've just, James Hurd in this last 5 minutes is finding a bit of touch. And after St Kilda controlling the first half of this quarter, Essendon have just come back and really made every post to win, and they've gone inside 50.
There's the bounce alongside the centre circle. Everett the backhander. Zilla, the hurried kick, floats it towards half forward. Still inside the centre square. Denham, Masidi appeared to throw it out wide. Over the ball, Fletcher, bumped off it by Harvey. Fraser nicely done, slips it away. Denham off his step. High kick towards the wing. Blumfield couldn't hang on. Campbell doesn't know where it went. Harvey did. Back to Campbell. Campbell hard against the line, uses the ball well, and Healy has it. Healy just forward of the wing, put it 6 goals against the Eagles in that great win at Subiaco Oval a few weeks back. Floats one inside the 50. Heatley almost, fingertips to it. Sirakoski grabs it now, tries to bend it back. It bounces about 5 metres out. Everett failed to get boot to ball, picked up by Alessio. They talk about the last line of defence. That was it. Falling over was Beveridge. Hall grabs it. Was it touched off the boot? I don't think so. It's a goal.
That's a free kick, I think. Before the kick was taken, it's going to Beveridge, Dennis. So the umpire must have blown his whistle before the kick was made. But then, why not there be advantage?
It's about to happen. So Barry Hall credited with the goal.
Well, that was the correct decision in the end, because the goal, the advantage was played and the goal was kicked. No problem if it's a point kick. Well, did you turn it around? But certainly there's the free kick. Hall gets the footy, kicks the goal. So the decision was correct.
So the umpires interacted to give the right decision. Michael Long off, and the goal scoring pattern continues. St Kilda got the first goal, then Essendon the next 3. St Kilda the next 3, Essendon the next 3, and now St Kilda back with their team to get 3. They can't there now. Hurd at half-back, out wide towards Wellman. It's dangerous. Lappin runs under it. Hall now works with him. No, yes, Lappin now wobbles it. Should have made a better fist of that one. And she scrubs along the ground for a boundary throw-in, 20 metres around from the behind post for St Kilda.
Terry, just a quick one with Michael Long. He's gone off and he went straight to see Bruce Reid, the doctor. So, considering he's kicked 3 goals, you wouldn't expect him to come off the ground with form.
So you only hope he's asking for a prescription for a sore throat and nothing to do with his knee. The throw-in goes over the top of the contest. Hurd in the defensive half. Kicks it on outside now, 50 to this near side. Fletcher very aggressively at the ball a couple of times now. Sierakowski does enough. Fraser wins the ball to the wing. Hudgton works with Young. St Kilda not to be denied now. They've picked the tempo up in this last couple of minutes. Beveridge this way, that way. Can't get the kick out quick enough. Should have gone on the left first time. But now Hall outside 50. Short to Everett. He's going to get underrun here and he's got it.
Barry's really lifted his work rate in the last couple of minutes. I think that goal's done him the world of good, giving him a little bit of confidence, and he's really attacking the ball hard now.
David Sierakowski's in trouble. He was the one that came off the ground for Hall to come on, and he's just in some trouble with that right leg.
Everett steps out onto his left. Kicks.
Missed it.
Dennis, Michael Long does have a bit of a problem. And as we see, Sierakowski also with a bit of a problem, maybe looking at his right knee. But Michael Long, I'll find out more details at halftime if I can, but it might be something to do with his knee.
Interesting watching Peter Everett run away after that last kick at goal. He never gives up on them after that day at Subiaco Oval. Just has a wry look back. Could get a pleasant surprise. Here's Buick coming away inside his own defensive 50.
This well.
Ola Renshaw meters in the clear, runs through the centre, kicks it down towards half forward. Lloyd, was he being hung on to? Wakelin over the top did well. Young, Wakelin, a fumble initially from Campbell. Tidies up, finds Winmar. End-to-end stuff now, and the Saints looking better. Winmar down towards half forward. Fletcher over the top of Burke. Wow, that would have hurt. As always, though, Burke immediately, the feisty competitor, to his feet and back into it. Boundary throw in. Essendon lead by 6 points. Everett directs it down. Harvey gets away forward of the wing, pulls it back towards the attacking 50 for the Saints. Big leap from the back. It was Elliott down in front. Mitchell, Bacon square, kicks in short though. Berbatov, sensing the danger, knocks it towards the boundary line. Great desperation from Ola Renshaw.
That was disappointing from Gavi. Front and centre was fantastic. The handball was on, and then the short pass to Jason was certainly on as well.
Yeah, because through the play running past him was Everett, who was favoured by his left boot.
So there it is, but now the ball being thrown in right on top of the Saints square. Burke chasing onto it now. Buick in front, off the ground. They're appealing for out on the full. Nothing doing. The ball's going to be thrown in now on the opposite side of the ground.
Let's just see if we can set something up here. We practice a fair few set plays from these boundary line throw-ins deep in the forward line.
So we look for it to come over the back, Stu. Let's see. Here we go. Timmy Elliott has a go at it. Fletcher was there. Buick's in there too. Calthorpe, front position, tries to flick it out the back. The tackle from Mitchell was good. It's been one of the trademarks of Gavin Mitchell at St Kilda, his tackling. Had been the leading tackler up until last week when Nathan Burke snuck past him. Just under 2 minutes of play left. Essendon by 6. It's in St Kilda, 30 metres out from goal. Harvey, Buick, and again it will be bounced.
Also, Terry, Kevin Sheedy happy to have his best player sitting on the bench for the last minute and a half of this second term. James Hurts, he's okay, just sitting on the bench, and Gary Moorcroft coming on.
So Sheedy managing James Hurd through the game. Preferring to start him in the seniors without running any reserves, but here's Everett doing the roving. To Hall, to Beveridge. The Saints, they've surged it. That's a rugby try nearly. Just aggression at the ball, keeping it alive, and Beveridge eventually just getting the foot to it to score the tie the scores up.
It's interesting to watch Barry Hall come through. He's almost cleaned up Peter here. It really should have been holding his man off in the goal square, but fantastic goal there.
Sure, can I just ask you, going back to that set play situation with the boundary throw, and how do you know which one you're going to use?
Don't tell him, Stewie. Don't tell him.
6-5 apiece. Everett knocks it down. Burke. A chance for the Saints to grab the lead close to half-time. Wellman smothered the Harvey kick. It's picked up by Mitchell. Mitchell pulls it back across the ground. Healy meters in the clear. He's 60 metres out from goal. Looping hand pass. Awkward one to a contest. Hall somehow got through. Back to Healy. Healy in trouble again. Shrugs one tackle. Gets it away to Elliott. Elliott wobbles a kick. It came off a hand down towards full forward. Hardwick is there. Could have been pushed in the back. And hand passed across the line by Olorenshaw.
Because Daniel's very good on his right foot, and both times there he had opportunity to swing around onto his right foot.
There's no doubt, Stu, the game looks a little bit easier from up here, doesn't it? You see more.
You certainly do.
Interesting bench. James Hurd had some touches, influential ones in this second term. Young, who started so well. Michael Long with 3 goals. Those players I wouldn't have thought deserved to be there through lack of form. Young may be contemplating what happened. Fraser, good mark on the chest. Running with the flight of the ball. So the Saints up by a point. 20 seconds to go to half-time. There's Wellman kicking through the wing down towards half-forward. Winmar goes up. He knew it was coming. Takes the mark. Nothing sinister there, but Lucas was committed. He was arriving late, and Winmar took the mark, bracing himself as the ball arrived. Half-time siren. Good game of football. And the Saints showing plenty of fight. A couple of times there you got the feeling as a bit starts to boil over after the siren. Harvey and Calthorpe. The second half. Can be unlucky. Everett. Opposed to Somerville this time. Everett decisively down to Burke at his feet. Burke floats it inside the 50. Hardwick reaching over the top. Beveridge to his own advantage out wide. Luke Beveridge looking to run onto it. Paddling it towards the line. Berbatov is closing. And across the line it goes. And just down the corridor after Russ was talking about things Essendon. What was happening with the Saints there, Stuart?
Yeah, Stan was fairly animated as usual, but really just wanting the key forwards to really present and to use the ball a lot better than we have done so far. But reasonably happy with the endeavour so far.
So St Kilda have the ball on their half-forward line as Michael Long looks on for the Bombers. Sees his side defending here. Somerville on for his first run. Gets the ball, drags it back in, but the umpire is going to bounce.
It is confirmed, Terry. Michael Long is a hamstring injury, so obviously very disappointing for him and also the Bombers after him a sensational first half with 3 goals.
So the ball is bounced. Tim Elliott, number 38 there for the Saints, the big men, covering the loss of Stuart Lowe.
And Stuart, any mention of Joe Mercedes? Any special attention for him?
Yeah, Gavin Mitchell moved on to him apparently about 4 or 5 minutes to go, and they were pretty happy with the job he had done on Joe at that stage. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Just while the umpire's holding up the interchange for St Kilda, Jones, Hall, Thompson and Cook, and Essendon Long, as we've spoken about, Alessio, Young and Johnson.
So Hayden Kennedy bounces it. Burke roves it, can't get away. It's spilt free here. Essendon defence through Blumfield's in there very quickly. And Sierakowski locked the ball up. And again it will be bounced, but ever so much closer to the Saints' goal. Now it's only some 20 metres out. Sierakowski leaves Elliott to do the ruck work. It's towards Harvey. Elliott follows up well. Mercedes, a little bit of space, goes towards the line. Beveridge with a chance, so it trickles underneath his legs, comes back a second time. Ian O'Donnell playing some sort of game on the boundary line. Olorenshaw comes in to Harvey, steps out. He'll make something of this. No, he doesn't. The kick doesn't get to Brown. Falls well short. Lappin with an opportunity. Can't get away. Essendon dive in on it again. And once again, the ball will be bounced inside the forward 50 for St Kilda. They lead by the 1 point.
One comment the boys did make is the ground is as slippery as it's been for a long, long time. It normally holds the water very well, but it's extremely slippery out there today.
Calthorpe out of the congestion. Winmar could have got a free kick. Socket off the ground by Harvey inside the 50. Brown slips it away. The big fellow's got it. Everett bumped it just the moment he was kicking. By Hardwick, and the ball's gone out of bounds on the full. What an emerging star this young man is, Peter Everett. He's in the play again, camped in front. Got a boot in the backside. Winmar comes from behind the pack and knocks it out of bounds. Now shapes up to Denham. Denham has a bit to say. And the mediator is Nathan Burke. Whoops, Nathan's gone away, and immediately they're at it again. Meantime, Somerville grabs it. Mercedes off the ground, gains about 15 metres. It stayed in though. Harvey upended. Moved the ball. Winmar takes the mark. Best response. Winmar's got it. Down towards left half forward for the Saints. They've opened and they're looking pretty good in this third term, but Lloyd getting back deep in defence took the mark, so the full forward to the centre half forward, Lucas. It means not many are down this neck of the woods, but going back is Moorcroft. He's looking for 50. I don't think it was there. Meantime, Moorcroft plays on. We saw Barnard and Wakeland shaping up. Calthorpe had got free just moments ago. He was deep in defence. He's run hard. He's got the ball about 25 metres out and a chance to put the Bombers back in front.
It's a pretty good attempt by Moorcroft to get the 50, but it wasn't an intentional hit by Wakeland. It was just the way they crossed paths. Winmar comes off the ground.
I think Moorcroft defied physics. He's got the lowest centre of gravity in the world, and he moved. He moved about 3 metres very quickly. There's Calthorpe. Kicks. I think he's got it. He has.
A good pressure to go forward there by Essendon, as Dennis mentioned. It was both Lucas and Lloyd who are down the ground, because Hurd is actually at full forward. And there's the contact from Wakeland. Certainly no great intent there. It's just a passing of bodies. And Calthorpe able to run free, get up into the pocket, and finishes off with a good goal.
First goal of the second half belongs to Essendon through Calthorpe, and here he comes again. Works with Denham into half forward. Buick. Now that is centre bounce work.
And Stu, you mentioned a couple of times during the course of this game, getting out of the centre so quickly is important. That's another great example, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just illustrates just the forward can basically he's got either side to move to, and again,
you just avoid all that congestion, don't you?
Exactly.
So Darren Buick hasn't yet scored this afternoon, but should score from here. And by the sounds of the crowd, he's got the right one. He's kicked a goal. So Essendon jump with the first 2 goals of the second quarter. Calthorpe and now Buick.
It's an impressive opening by Essendon just to get forward and score both times they've gone inside their 50, as the umpire has a chat with Hayden Kennedy to Barnard.
At this stage, Ross, I'd like to see our boys really man up and try to change the style of play here.
Yes, the only one's really matching up at the moment, one-on-one at the start of this game, has been Mitchell on Mercedes.
So the Bombers have kicked away. They lead by 11 points. Somerville initiating that last goal. Opposed to Everett. They find a draw that time. Ola Renshaw tied up immediately. Interesting just watching the replay. There's a tendency sometimes for players to get too offensive when you've got a guy like Everett in there who's dominating generally. And all these St Kilda players were forward of the ball as it came down, and Denham got in behind them, and they really were exposed out of the middle. Somerville wrestles. Everett swipes and misses. Calthorpe hurriedly inside the 50. Storming up the ground to Zilla. Didn't quite get onto it. Wakeland back to Zilla. Zilla out of his own defensive area, kicks it to the centre square. Blumfield is dragged down. Loose ball. O'Donnell. Quick hands away. This is Denham. Denham towards half forward. The mark is taken by Lucas. He's a long kick. He plays on. 55 metres out. Pulls it. Behind.
Maxie Hutchins got to be wary there. Lucas will always go to that left side. He's going to try and block him off and not coming and wait for that dummy and get caught by that. He's just got to stand his ground and hold him off and make sure that he covers that left-hand side.
Bomber bench looking on. Mark Harvey in the foreground to Campbell. So Essendon with the 2 goals. Now wrested control of the game at this stage. Zilla. So St Kilda have structured a line out across from Zilla towards us on this commentary side. We'll move the ball. Now Burke switches to the other side. The contest forms on the wing. Elliott does well in the front. Lappin gets it alive towards Healy. He's on his left foot, goes long over the top of all the leaders. So it's a race back. Berbakoff leads it for the Bombers. Cleans up the ball. Kicks, as most good defenders do under that sort of pressure, towards the line. And gets the leg break he wants, and a boundary throwing outside 50. Matthew Lappin coming off. And Andrew Thompson back on. Somerville wins that one with a slap and a push, buys another 20 metres for the Bombers. So St Kilda led by just the 1 point at half-time. And coming into this game, they'd led 12 times at half-time and only been overrun twice. But 1 point isn't a lead to defend at all. They need to keep at the game. It's in their forward line at the moment. Burke tackles Ola Renshaw. Hardwick in underneath. O'Donnell steps around so he can use his left foot, squeezes it out. Jones has got it. Harvey's on in the pocket. He ignores that one. Goes to the taller Elliott at centre forward. He has to make a contest. Does. Mercedes roves it well. The left foot pushes on out wide. Again, the boundary I will probably win out with this one. He does, as Matthew Lloyd, who's playing centre half forward at the moment, has covered a lot of ground to watch it go over.
Mercedes like Harvey, 21 possessions. Nicky Winmale looking on. He started on the ground. Calthorpe busy so far in this third term. To Wellman down towards half forward. Over the top, Wakeland appear to be tackled in mid-air. Advantage is paid, so Shane was tackled. And Darrell got the kick-off. Healy on the wing down towards half forward. Lucas launches himself. Got a fist on that one. Thompson close to the boundary line, feeds it back inside. Lucas hit the ball hard, still he goes. Well played by the big man. Kicks to midfield. Ola Renshaw, runners inside. He played on. Nobody grabbed him. Back to Lucas. Lucas has run about 100 metres. He kicks from 55. But told on him the long run. It fell in short to Zilla. Back come the Saints. Half back now with Jones. Jones pulls it back around the corner looking for Brown. Jones is running on. Brown thinks about it. Goes instead to the middle. Taken by Hudson. Hudson running down towards centre half forward. Unloads. It's a long telling kick. It turns the defence around. Off the hands down there of Blumfield. It fell in front. Over the ball is Denon. Tries to dig it out. Blumfield's got it now. Burke is right there. And across the line it goes.
Yes, just watching James Hird let Scotty Lucas know that if we're going to lead out to the pocket there, make sure you kick it to me. If you're just going to go long and kick to a St Kilda player, allow him an easy mark and clear the ball away. It's just such a waste.
Justin Blumfield, who made his debut in the blackout game between these two sides a couple of years ago, towards half forward. Barnard in front, loses out to Wakeland, turns it back half forward. Blumfield underneath, that's a good mark. Very good mark, knowing the pressure was coming from both Brown and Burke. Michael Long looking on. We believe hamstring problems for Michael. Fletcher concedes ground, drops it. Denham. So Essendon worked the ball across half-back, chipping it, then looking for that ultimate break. They've had a couple of those in this quarter with Lucas running strongly onto 50. Hasn't used the ball well yet, but they are looking dangerous from that half-back line. Sierakowski gives it off and then buckles over. Campbell, Moorcroft over the top. Lucas is in there as well. As David Sierakowski comes off, Barry Hall back on.
Got a nice old whack from that tackle of Gary Moorcroft, Wills. A nice one in the bread basket.
Boy, it's tough when you're reaching up.
So the ball bounced just forward of the wing for St Kilda. Denham, O'Donnell, the quick kick. Moorcroft does physical work well before the 5-metre limit at which you can do that. So the free kick is against him. Jones receives the handball, crosses across to Brown, under pressure there. Buick roves well towards half forward now. Campbell and Moorcroft. Campbell does well in the front position to smother the ball. Wakeland can't get away. Harvey stands. The quick kick to Everett. Needs to use somebody. Does it himself with the left foot. Up towards Heatley in front. Behind is Fletcher. Essendon repel once again.
Out wide. This is Fraser. Gathers the bouncing ball. Decides to run. It's Greasy. He needs to be careful. He kicks down was the attacking 50. Hurd. Manhandle. Essendon free kick. So the Saints and the defence under pressure again. Just moments ago, Brad Campbell, quite outstanding, backing himself to come and meet the ball. All could have been lost had he missed it, but he was good enough to stop it. Can they hold again? Hurd the centering kick. Waiting there, taking the mark is Beveridge. Plays on immediately. Harvey decides to run it out. Kicks for space to the outer side. Moving to that space is Burke. Plays on immediately. Kicks it down towards right half forward. Well weighted kick. Heatley was up. Dropped the mark on his knees. Tries to give it across to Thompson. Loose ball picked up by Denham. Slips it away to Hardwick. Hardwick kicks it around the outer side. Wellman going back with the flight of the ball. Ball is closing. Wellman's away. Close to the boundary line. Finds Lloyd on the outer side. Lloyd runs inside the 50. Measures the kick. Heads for home. This will have them on their feet. Marvellous goal.
That's a great finish from that situation. Often players are unbalanced when they have a shot from that distance. There really wasn't too many options running toward him, and no one to kick high to the square do, so he just did the right thing by having a shot for goal. Hardwick, we see the player to push it out, and Wellman has been pretty steady most of the day, just has his pace to get away. Favoured by Shepherd as well. And Lloyd on his own out here. Wakeland nowhere near him. Couldn't close him down in time. Great finish.
So St Kilda were able to get the ball to half forward, but time and again Essendon make the break from half back, and with strong running through half forward convert for goal. They've kicked 3 in this quarter. They are at half forward again, the Bombers, through a strong burst from the centre bounce. Hudson turns it back the Saints' way towards the wing where Hall's in front of Blundfield, takes the mark. On and off the bench is Barry Hall's a day. Hudson continues to run on, receives, kicks to Cook at half forward. So Brent Cook has come on to be the tall marking option at centre half forward. Kicks now towards Everett in the square. Needs to be in front, but Somerville does enough to get a boundary throw in.
And looks like Darryl Wakeland's in trouble. I think he's got a bit of an AC joint problem there that comes off with the physio.
He clashed with Paul Barnard there, Roscoe.
On the other side?
Yeah, just in the half-back line there, just as he was coming off, crashed through, and then obviously the AC might keep him out.
Just wonder how long they can keep Nicky Winmar off the ground too. He's had his penance there.
Winmar's back on. He's back on. He's back on. There he is there.
So he goes with Joe Mercedes. Mercedes decides to keep it in. Back to Denham. He on the left foot, out wide towards the wing. Lucas looks to smother it. Kept in play well by Jones. St Kilda working the ball around their top 50, but they can't convert the goal. Cook's kick towards centre half forward. Hardwick barging through. Surely that's holding the ball.
No.
Well, you can't run another 5 metres carrying the footy. And I guess I wouldn't mind the Saints getting the goal just here because they're working so hard at half forward. There it is. Now Hardwick just keeps going. He tries to break that tackle. For mine, that's holding the ball. But I ain't the umpire.
And that's over the shoulder. That's what's been paid for. The umpire saw that. Stuart Wen was the adjudicating umpire at that stage. The right arm from Wellman is over the shoulder.
So Barry Hall to take us. As we said, on and off the ground this afternoon. He has 1 goal. Returned to the side today, 1 of 3 changes. Was out a couple of weeks with a shoulder injury, and then a couple more in the reserves. 3 goals in the grand final last year. Needs goal number 2 here. The Saints have worked well at centre half forward. They've worked physically hard. They need to reward themselves with a goal. He's done it. So St Kilda get their first of the 3rd quarter after Essendon get the first 3.
It's true at a critical time too, that goal wasn't. They just needed that goal just to lift their tempo a bit. They've been working pretty hard, but a deserved goal.
Yeah, certainly. That last couple of minutes, they really shifted the intensity there, and just needed a goal to cap it all off. So it was great.
So the margin, 11 points. You've got to admire the Saints. Down by 17. You could almost see them grit their teeth. Coming through is Barnard, Blumfield. The Bombers, of course, have other ideas. The kick down towards half-forward. Huntston did well to Burke. Burke from half-back, wide towards the wing. Winmar did brilliantly. Was it pay to mark? I think it may have been. He kicks it towards half-forward. Somerville worked out of the contest. Showing the judgment there was Heatley. And Heatley's got this ball forward of the wing.
That's certainly, Dennis, what we need more of. Some strong marks around that half-forward line. That was great. They might lift the boys.
Heatley inside the 50.
Great use of the footy too.
Mark on the lead from Everett. Well, I suppose, Stewie, they're used to having you down there, and it's a bit difficult to suddenly change the strategy, because it seems to me when the Saints play quite often in trouble, kick it high to Stewie low.
And here the kick too, just it forced Peter Everett just to run to that space there. Made sure he got there and pushed him out to the area.
So they're working through it, and they're working well. Everett kicks from 40. Tight. He may have missed, just falling away to the right, that kick. So the margin now is 10 points.
I think that might be 3 points for Spider today, which is very unusual. He's normally such a reliable kick.
And probably in total he's missed by about, what, 2 metres.
It's true.
O'Donnell. A brief lull. Big crowd at Waverley Park. As O'Donnell kicks in towards the outer side. Good kick distance and precision. Wellman has it. Outside the defensive 50. Drives it up towards the wing. Blumfield, who's a good grab, goes up uncontested, takes it. The young man from the ACT really developing. Played for the Allies a couple of weeks back. Well, Shane Wakelin appeared to be held. Hurd gets it away to Mercedes, who was hugging who. Mercedes, meantime, goes for home and gets the goal for the Bombers.
Gee, that's an important response too by the Bombers. They just wanted to make sure they got that one back and just worked the ball beautifully out of side. And Blumfield, as Dennis said, has really bloomed as a player. He looks very confident. Exactly who was hugging who, but then Hurd again just setting up here. Mercedes on the overlap from 50 has been such an important player today. 15 and 8 to Joe Mercedes.
So the Bombers with James Hurd back on the ground. Hurd involved, rove the contest, and a very good handball to the run of Mercedes. Picks up the goal for the Bombers. They're out by 16 points now. St Kilda needs to apply.
Sure.
Hall is taken down. Tony Brown, his own man. Ground level now. Mitchell picks up the free kick, and Brown now up a little gingerly. As the ball's kicked up high, he's going back very courageously, but Hall has to keep coming forward. Meanwhile, the ball now 35 metres out from St Kilda goal. Big Spider picks it up, curls it around, bounces it through. Good on you, Spide. They stay in the contest.
Is that not a carbon copy of one he kicked last week? Picked it up almost a similar position and just turned, Stewie. That was just a great solo effort. Just made the contest initially, then followed it up. Just watch this again. Here he is, gets to the front of the pack. Ball's brought forward. He follows on.
Great second effort.
Yeah, doesn't cause a free kick, and then just kicks that goal. Fantastic.
I mean, most big blokes wouldn't think to go after it, would they? That's the thing. Peter Everett, the snapshot. The set shots weren't working, so...
I think Stewie gave you a funny look there, Dennis, when you said most big blokes wouldn't go after it for a second effort. Of course they do.
Well, it didn't occur to Pete to stop. Found it on the ground and kicked a wonderful goal. So they keep on coming, the Saints. They're down by 10 points. Here's Young kicking it up towards the wing. Hutchton's got it. And that's the thing about Everett. He does so many things for the Saints. One thing's not working. Something else picks up. Across the ground goes Hutchton. Taken by Cook. At the present time, Everett standing down at full forward. And I'm not sure if you were starting a team in the AFL, he might be the #1 building block. Here's Hurd inside the centre square. Back towards centre half back. Young is there, off the ball, a bit happening. Essendon free kick, I think. Buick always pretty good at earning a free. He's got it just outside the 50. Sets it up. Barnard is going back. Picks it up 5 metres out. Open goal. Gets it. He's elated.
Yeah, it's far too early on Buick with Stephen Ziller there to get him out of the contest. Just the ball wasn't within 5 and just took him out too solidly. Tried to block his path, but in fact just knocked him over. Not sure if we'll see it in vision. We won't. The free kick was there. Buick's on the ground behind the play. Play goes on. Barnard finishes off. It's all about timing and just waiting for the ball to come into your area.
And the St Kilda bench there. Peter Russo in front. Stan Ells in the centre. Normie Goss behind. Paul Barnard comes down from defence. In game number 42, kicks his 10th goal in his career. Harvey turns it back to Saints' way. They've won most of the centre bounces, the Saints. They get to here, but they can't quite break through often enough. The Essendon defence, O'Donnell's been very good. Blumfield has had a lot of the football, and more often than not has used it extremely well. Fletcher, back to Blumfield. Disposal number 16 for him. Just short of Buick. Ziller right there with him in the boundary throw-in.
Just to look at James Hurd, he's virtually playing as a ruck rover. He's just going wherever he likes around the ground, has carte blanche to run whatever position he wishes, basically just following the footy around.
So 24 and a half minutes into the third quarter. Essendon leading 72 to 56. Matthew Young, last man up. He's been the one who's picked up Hurd when Hurd's been in the forward line. He's now covering him here at this bounce. Harvey, another possession, another kick. That's 26 disposals. Blumfield, busy. Towards Hurd, it's going to be right on the line. Jones doesn't hesitate over the boundary line. His side picks up the kick because it was out of bounds on the full. Young looks up to the forward line. Short to Harvey. Ooh. Johnson, Jason Johnson. Did he just come off the interchange? He did.
Yeah.
And that's always a dangerous one because Harvey would not expect that.
No.
So Robert stands up, kicks the centre half forward. The fly from Heatley's behind. Hardwick roving to O'Donnell, again on the left foot. Here's the break that Essendon have been able to construct, and more often than not it has been Scotty Lucas. This is his third run in this third quarter where he kicks towards the forward line. Lloyd, a sensational mark. The two young guns, Lucas and Lloyd, combining, and that's a great mark. He was out of it and just somehow stretched the arms that little bit extra.
And Wills, that's what you call efficient footy, coming through the half-back area, going to a player on the wing who's a long kick. He carries the ball 15 to 20 metres, then kicks it 50 to 60. Then you have a player of the quality of Lloyd to take a catch like that. That's outstanding.
Roscoe, Royce Hart would have been very proud of that one, I suppose, in the 70s. A sensational grab, as you just said.
I think you've been watching the man alongside us too. He takes a few like that, out of position going into the pack, and suddenly comes up with it.
It's great to see him carry it all the way down too. Really strong hands.
So Matthew Lloyd has kicked 3 goals straight this afternoon. Going for 4 from directly in front, 35 metres out. He's got it. 4 goals to Matthew Lloyd. Giving him now 43 for the season, so etching towards the 50 once again.
Yes, and such a bursty quarter here for Essendon. 6 goals to 2. They've been so effective. Here we see the run of Lucas just carry the ball down the outer side, then kick it to within 20 metres ago. And look at that catch there by Lloyd. That's fantastic. As Stewie said, just to hold it all the way down. Outstanding effort.
Kevin Sheedy looking on. Game number 417. Matthew Lloyd with the Cadbury Mark of the Year contender right there. What a beauty. And now the Saints desperate for the next goal. Ola Renshaw though out of the middle. There's Campbell across half-back, slides over, gets to his feet, kicks towards the wing. Hardwick in close attendance there with Thompson. Thompson got the crumb, it came out the back, gets it across to Healy. Healy kicks inside the 50. Hurd is going back, Everett outnumbered. Offhands Fletcher, bounces it up towards the wing. Taken out there by Fraser. Fraser to Blumfield. Blumfield pinpoints the ball, finds Barnard. Barnard through the wing towards half forward. Ola Renshaw clearing a path for himself. Coming across quickly as Jones, sensing the danger. Doesn't get all of it. Gained about 15 metres. A couple of strong tackles applied there, and a free kick is going to Lappin. A couple of Saints went down. Lappin first and then Elliott. In fact, it's not Lappin, it's Wakelin, is it? Wakelin who's got the ball. Watch it again. That seems fair enough. Wakelin across the ground to Zilla inside the centre square. Zilla goes long down towards Heatley. Loose ball at the back. O'Donnell outnumbered. Applies one tackle coming through. Thompson got it from Mitchell, and he may have grubbed it through.
He's spent a bit of time on the bench today, Andrew Thompson. And just when I say just 3 and 6, he's had limited ground time. Such an important kick, this one, just to get them within touch again. Perhaps over the shoulder to Heatley, not allowed, and then through here. Mitchell tries to squeeze one out, but then on the overlap there was Thompson. He was the one that's finally able to push that ball through. An important goal for St Kilda.
Looks like a wrist problem of something with Hardwick with his left arm, left forearm or left wrist. We'll have a look in a sec.
Thanks, Fly. So this centre bounce critical. Only 20 seconds of play left. Difference now 16 points Essendon's way. They can't get the break. Essendon have got the free kick. Play it on immediately to Mercedes. Kicks the centre half forward. They need a mark here, the Bombers. Hudson does well with the spoil, then follows it up, keeps his feet in the contest. Lucas goes down. Moorcroft comes at it. The siren beats them all. So a quarter win. Essendon have kicked 6 goals. St Kilda have kicked 3. The play flowing between half-back lines often, but Essendon taking the advantage and bursting, kicking the longer goals more often.
Being thwarted in their attempt to get back on top of the table. Harvey, paid advantage. Runs down towards centre, half forward, looks for Heatley. Awkward one. Berbakoff taken front on by Winmar. Hacked out of there by Moorcroft out towards half back. Leading in the race, Zilla falling to the ground. Gave it straight to Barnard. Barnard with some time. Moorcroft, Denham. Now Mercedes has played very well. Mercedes sends Essendon deep into attack. Up there was Lloyd, had it fisted away by Wakelin. Going to ground was Young. Will advantage be paid? Well, it's going the other way. It's coming back to Young as Fraser was off. Young chips it across. This is Jones. Jones on the wing. And he's signed down by 16 points. Chip pass. Hodgson forward of the wing then towards the attacking 50 for the Saints, and standing tall and plucking it well. Dustin Fletcher. Got concentration there, a bit happening around him, but play is only for the footy. Out wide, Wellman. Wellman up towards the wing with the kick. Almost got it to Fraser. Coming back, Jones did well, affected it, got a hand on it. That was enough. Now Winmar measures things, pops it across to Beveridge. Back it comes to Winmar, who spent some time on the bench in the third term. He finds Burke unattended in midfield. Nathan Burke running down towards half forward. Pops it up to a contest. Coming through was Hardwick. Had it, then lost it. Grabbed by Ola Renshaw. Meantime, Somerville and Everett face up. Jones on the outer side after the footy. He's got it hard against the line. Did he keep it in? No, he did not.
A lot of Essendon supporters, Dennis, might be wondering about Stephen Alessio as Peter Everett and Somerville have a bit of toe-to-toe and a free kick going against Somerville.
That's right, Russell. I mean, the umpire at that stage, Steve McBurney, just saw the one throw by Somerville and decided there's a free kick.
And by Robert Harvey just telling him as well, which is nice. That's all he needs.
Well, here it is on replay. Spider putting the melon in there, and Somerville just pushing it away. The umpire was right there.
I mean, it's an important kick. You'd hate to see that decide the game, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah.
So, and what is the free kick for? Around the neck? Apparently so.
Just being scroppy.
So Peter Everett from right on 50, straight in front, kicks long, kicks strong. Put that in your face, he says.
Next centre bounce will be interesting.
Yes, it does. Your call, Dennis, is quite right. If the game is decided by that decision, then there's been a fair bit missed. However, decision's been made.
Spider's giving him the old rope-a-dope there.
But importantly for his team, he kicks the goal, and that's his second one to follow up that fantastic goal he kicked in the third quarter from the flag.
So the battle renewed here. Somerville and Everett. Everett missed the ball. Somerville didn't compete. Harvey appeared to be legged, no free. Burke slides in on Johnson, and a whistle.
Jen, it's just a quick update on Damien Hardwick. We saw him come up with a sore wrist. He just got his hand stomped on. And also, I was talking about Stephen Alessio. He's not injured, so he's just sitting on the bench with form.
So Everton goes at it again. Nathan Burke in there, surging his side on. The single captain of the Saints this week in the absence of Stewie Lowe, who is sitting here with us. Watching his side now, really having to work hard back. They've got the first goal of this last quarter to get back within 10. Matthew Young at the bottom of the contest. Michael Long looks on. Injured his hamstring in the second quarter. We haven't seen him since, and we won't. James Hurd, hamstring injury, has stood up well. He kicks towards half forward. St Kilda through Campbell, spinning on out, kicks on towards the wing. Beveridge runs onto it, flicks it on over the top to a voice, but it wasn't a St Kilda voice, it was Mercedes. Mercedes for the Bombers. Handball doesn't reach Ola Renshaw, keeps it in well, and wins a free kick to Ola Renshaw. Mercedes wants to play on, but umpire Hayden Kennedy won't allow that. So here it is here, Ola Renshaw keeps it in, and that's a tough one.
Oh.
That's a shocker. Fletcher, Johnson for the Bombers. Has a second go at it. Tries for O'Donnell, can't. Winmar does well to body and win the ball. Then kicks towards Burke, which went about 15 centimetres. It stays hot in the contest. Healy, the handball. Hudson, the quick kick. Someone needs a mark to be able to settle it down, and it's Wakeland. Very good. On to Winmar.
You're going to play it the other way, Terry.
Oh,
going to play it to the man in front, which is Joe Mercedes.
he gives it to Fletcher. They sit underneath it. Everett comes in tremendously. He's kicked the goal for them to get them going. Now across centre half back, repels the Bombers again.
Well, he's fighting the fight on all levels. He kicks it up towards the wing. Campbell's got it, lays it off. This is Wakeland. Long kick towards half forward. From behind, the mark is held by Darrell. That was Shane who booted it down there. Plays on immediately. Winmar, about 75 metres from goal. Hooks it inside the 50. Great grab over the top by Berbikoff. They're playing for keeps now.
And undoubtedly, this is where the Saints are falling. I mean, with Stewie Lowe sitting up here alongside us, that's where Stewart makes his real impact on the game. As the players get tired, he in around 30 metres takes those marks.
Lucas on the outer side, still inside his defensive 50.
It is interesting, though, Terry, to see Darrell Wakeland being shifted into the forward line. He has played there before, and I think he was a little bit more height.
Another Cadbury's Mark of the Year contender from Berbikoff of Essendon. It was a great grab. Berbikoff coming in on the angle and taking a heavy tumble. The margin is 10 points. The Bombers are up 78 to 68. Time remaining. Everything to play for. Everett straight down to Ola Renshaw. He puts it up towards the wing. Lloyd in front, reaching over the top. Shane Wakeland fisted away. Berbikoff slides in, knocked away by Blumfield. Blumfield goes after it. Everett, look at him work on the ground, the big man. And a free kick.
Burke in the back, Dennis.
Burke's got it. Squares it immediately. Healy alongside the centre circle. And the Saints irresistible. They're coming at the Bombers again. Here's Winmar into open space. Winmar inside the 50. Heatley took it on the chest. He took a gamble. Elected not to go with the hands. He let the ball come on. And Fletcher liked his chances. He got a sniff. He could get a fist on that one, but try as he might, he couldn't make contact with the ball. Watch it again.
Yeah, it looks as if I was going to make the comment as if Jason Heatley was just a little bit casual in his approach to the footy. They're just expecting he's going to be well enough in front that the fist couldn't come through, but he's still got the footy. That's the main thing.
By the same token, he angled his body rather cleverly, using it as a shield there. So Heatley started the day with 36 goals, going at his 39th. Kicks from 48. Normally a dead-eye Dick, and this is no exception. A dead-eye Jason.
good there for St Kilda as they push that ball forward. And Winmark combining there. Surakoski's back on the ground too. Some added height, as Stewie said, with Wakeland down in that forward line as well. So Surakoski's going to play basically centre-half forward. Wakeland going back to a full forward position with Heatley alongside in a pocket. And a great rally here by St Kilda and a terrific kick by Heatley at the end of that chain.
Essendon got out to a 22-point lead late in the third quarter, but since then St Kilda have kicked the last 3 goals and are now within 4. Essendon forward, Elliott doing the roving, works with Campbell, who's been very busy across the back line this afternoon. Kicks towards the centre, back come the Bombers. Lucas on the right foot, bounces towards centre-half forward. Campbell again, runs at it with Harvey, sweeps it on wide to Young, to Healy. Should keep it moving on his left foot. He has Wakeland and Surakoski and Heatley. Goes long now. Heatley's going to have to come in from behind. Does it with one hand. Drops it down. Winmar running onto it. Blumfield right there with him. They pull it back in. The umpire has no choice but to bounce.
I tell you what, he had his whistle to his mouth, did Hayden Kennedy. He was going to give Winmar a free kick. I thought he probably should have, even though both players went to ground. You can't fall into the back of an opposition player.
A couple of the Bombers a bit reckless there.
So the bounce, 55 metres out. St Kilda attacking. Harvey with the ball. Tackling him inside. Beautiful pass. Tell you what. Trying to get Robert Harvey is trying to nail jelly to a tree. You just can't do it.
25 and 6 to Robert Harvey.
Michael Malthouse wouldn't want you to do it.
No, yeah,
So Darryl Wakeland moved into the forward line, just as Stewie Lowe wanted. Kicked his last goal in the first final last year, so it's been a fair while between drinks, and unfortunately it stays that way. 2 goals in the first final last year, but since then spending the time in defence. In the absence of Lowe into the forward line in this last quarter. Wellman, short to Denham. 4 points is the difference. 10 minutes into the last quarter at Waverley Park. Nearly 51,000 people here to watch it. And it's been a very physical encounter. Everything you want. Healy out onto the right foot. Drags it back around. Not quite the centre-half forward. Johnson didn't know that they weren't going to go in front of him. Bounces, pushed on towards Denham. Mitchell runs onto it. Brown has a go for the Saints. Lucas steps on out. Left foot, scrambles it back out. St Kilda have set up the wall here through Thompson. They can charge it again. They lose momentum with the handball to Healy. Sets it up. Everett, here he comes. Essendon spoiled to ground level. He comes back as a rover. The tackling holds it up by Denham. The ball going nowhere. It'll be bounced again. 30 metres out, St Kilda goal.
Calthorpe waiting to come back on. And just for the moment, the Bombers are like a prize fighter draped over the ropes, and they're taking everything from the Saints. The Saints are hauling off and hitting them. Everett knocks it down. Winmark could have been pushed in the back. No free. Spills out. Mitchell taken down by Somerville. Johnson could have been taken high. He'll get the free kick. Johnson deep in his own defensive area. Needs to be careful. Steve McBurney just keeping a cool head. Johnson drives it out wide. Well done by Young. Last season in the battle between these two clubs, he picked up the top Brownlow votes, and now Winmar moves off the mark and presents himself. Turned around and ran 10 metres, and suddenly he's got the footy. 60 metres out. Can the Bombers hold up? We're leading by 4.
Have a look at the flooding of the forward line too. There's
You can kick this with a big torp.
Torby?
Yes.
He's allowed to kick a Torby.
2 men forward of the centre at the other end. Short one comes into Brown. And Brown will kick from inside the 50. If he kicks a goal, the Saints will be back in front. Gee, they've been terrific.
So that was a tough one there. Heatley was the other option there, wasn't he? With all respect to Tony Brown, I think probably Heatley should have been the one to get it.
So Brown, who's kicked one good goal this afternoon. Study and concentration, close to the man on the mark. He's bending it back. I think it's okay. St Kilda in front.
Well, Tony Brown, I take it all back, son. Under the pressure, he's gone back and whacked it.
He's done very well.
It's a great rally by St Kilda. They really have, as Dennis said, pushed Essendon on the ropes and just given them everything. They continue to do so if they can maintain the momentum. Not that any of the Essendon players with their heads down, but they realise they're up against an enormously good side.
Nicky's really lifted across that midfield.
The Essendon bench looking on. They see they've lost the lead. They took it from St Kilda early in the second quarter after a seesaw in the first quarter. Held it all the way, but St Kilda have come back. 3 goals in this last quarter. The last of the third. They're on a bit of a roll, the Saints. They hold a 2-point lead. The Bombers now through Fraser from half back. Kick to half forward. Moorcroft in front. 6 goals against the Saints in round 2. Can't produce that here now. Kelthorpe goes down. Grabs his leg in pain as Harvey runs away. Tosses it to the outer side to Hudgton.
He's got Harvey and Burke in the middle if he wants him.
Wider still. Finds Wakeland. Has provided the focal point in half forward.
Yeah, sees Friggers Kelthorpe cop that whack on the hip.
Harvey, 26 kicks, 6 handballs. Looking, assessing. Uses on out to Zilla. Zilla still on the wing. Now to half forward. Everett's in front of Fletcher. Everett a couple of goes. Fletcher gets the second one. Plays it on well with a little kick 15 metres away. Mitchell attacks it. Spins back around. Looks for Winmark. Goes over the top. Wellman strong in defence. Near side to Somerville. Towards the wing. Lloyd a long way up the ground. Wins it. Keeps it alive. Moorcroft and Campbell. Moorcroft from behind. Steals the ball. Gives it to Lloyd on the burst. Here it goes towards Hurd and Young. Young gets it down. Hurd stays on his feet. Now goes down. Now gets up. Look for Buick. Buick keeps it alive. Comes around. You're kidding. The Bombers won't lie down. They're coming. They're back in front.
I'd like to see that boundary line there.
Stewie's looking for the boundary line. It's good to see we did have a closer shot of it, but great rallying effort too, and particularly on this half forward area where Lloyd received the footy, just got that ball forward, back again Moorcroft. Just outstanding stuff by Moorcroft to give it back to him. Young gets a punch through, which is good. Almost set up a teammate there, take the ball forward. Hurd recovers. And from our angle, Stewie Richardson might have started in play.
Fair enough. Great goal.
Breathtaking skills. Moorcroft, Lloyd, and then the finish from Buick. And the Bombers up. Mercedes gave it away. Harvey to Mitchell. Mitchell to half forward. Brown spilled it. Now they've got a problem. O'Donnell's got him. Throws him to the ground. Runs onto the loose ball. O'Donnell hurriedly straight up in the air. Jones takes the run. Knocks it away from Denham. Calthorpe dives on top of it. Denham reaches back. Finds the ball. Harvey emerges with it, but not in time. And a bounce about 60 metres out from the Saints' attacking goal. Mercedes 29 possessions. Harvey 34 possessions. One down by Sierakowski wide. Jones over the ball, close to the boundary line. It goes out. 7.5 minutes to go. The Bombers looking to get back into the top 8. Up by 4 points. Beveridge, Cook and Lappin looking on. Not much they can do at the moment. Offering moral support. Young, meantime, pulls it back inside the 50. Everett didn't expect to clear the pack there, and as a result, bounced off his chest. Mitchell hung on to. This is Healy running away from his own goal to Jones. Jones likes his chances. Runs to the 50. It's going. It's through. I think it's a goal. How about that? Buick at one end, Jones at the other.
Well, Stu, you just have to stand and applaud that effort, don't you?
I think he did that a couple of weeks ago. It was almost identical, but that was just fantastic. Took him on and really finished off with a sensational goal.
And the importance here too is just having the numbers around the contest where once the player was in trouble, he was able to give it off to a teammate. And Peter Berbatov tried to move that goalpost to try and interfere with the shot, but unable to do so. Great finish.
Well, if you want a game of football on Channel 7 Footy's home ground, you've got it here now. Buick and Jones showing all the skills in the forward line. Jones getting the last goal to put the Saints back in front by 2. But here come the Bombers again through Calthorpe. Lloyd flies, can't get it. Lucas at ground level. Tim Elliott, the big man, does well. Hurd tries to protect the ball with his body. Young stays upright, runs right into Alessio, and it's all held up. It is 20 metres out from the Essendon goal. 45-degree angle. The clock has 6.5 minutes of play left on it. St Kilda playing for top spot. Essendon playing for a place in the 8. Sarakoski to Young. Gets the kick, but there's Calthorpe. Setting up in the correct position because St Kilda are always going to come this side. Always boundary side. And he was the man in the right spot. The distance will test him. He'll have to kick from outside 50. Looks for an option now, runs, tries to take Robbie Harvey on. You can't do that. He handballs it away. Harvey's held him up. Now Burke comes in, turns it around. The Bombers with pressure on them now as Winmar hasn't got support, needs to hold the ball. Kicks intelligently low towards the boundary line, but unfortunately ricochets off Beatley's boot. Free kick to the Bombers. So David Calthorpe, he knew he was outside his range, but I think he overestimated his abilities to get on Robbie Harvey. Berbatov, half-back flank. Side down by 2. Contest at half-forward. Sarakoski in front. Brown at ground level. Sarakoski again with Winmar to Harvey. Kicks. It's a beautiful kick. Here's Jones. Keep it in, Aussie. Can he? No, he can't. I reckon if you came out here to training for the Saints on a Thursday night, you would see Aussie just running this pocket and kicking those goals. More often than not, he bobs there. That time he ran out of room.
5.5 minutes to go. Heatley aided by Winmar. Only as far as Mercedes, deep in his own defensive area. Out wide, Olorenshaw. On his left side, Olorenshaw comes back, hooks it out wide. Fraser runs onto the ball, confronted by Mitchell. Mitchell, quick thinking, soften it to Healy. Healy forward of the wing, inside the 50 with the kick. One out is Everett, over the top is Fletcher. Loose ball at the back. Hardwick eyes only for the ball on the collision course with Darryl Wakeland. Got it to Everett, kept his head. Healy in trouble, slips the hand pass away. Zilla, who got the opening goal of the afternoon, misses to the near side. Saints by 3 points. It's a thriller at Waverley. Fletcher to himself. Sends play towards the outer side wing. Body to body. Hodgson and Lucas. Hodgson kept his footing. 55 metres out, goes short to Zilla. And Stephen Zilla has taken the mark about 35 metres out. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Movement up ahead, he ignores that. Such an important kick, this one. Just offline, down in front of Everett. Hardwick not prepared to concede, comes across the goal face, kicks it wide. Beautiful kick just inside the field of play. It bounces out of bounds. And everybody here, a crowd of 50,778, just takes a deep breath and waits for more.
Gutsy move to keep that ball alive.
Oh yeah, sure, I couldn't believe there wasn't a little bloke at the foot of Peter Everett then.
Yeah, you beat me to it there.
Oh,
no players at time. You've got to get to that situation.
Here they come again, the Saints. Everett will get the contest. Where's the little blokes? It's not, it's Fletcher. Jones late on the scene, sweeps it on out wide to Fraser. Can't quite find the handle on it. Jones comes at him again. Relieves the pressure with Hardwick. Short kick. Barnard The Bombers have been involved in 6 games that have been decided by less than 10 points this year.
Right on, Max.
They have a 3-3 record. It's tight. It's tough. Boundary umpire throws it in, centre wing. 3 points the lead to St Kilda. Down to Lucas, can't get the kick away. Burke, just a little one, 20 metres closer to the goal. Jones keeps it in. Jones is held. Jones gets out of there somehow. I don't know how. The kick keeps it all alive for the Saints now at half forward. Berbatov bounces out of the contest, gets the kick. Hurd in front, Young behind. Hurd stays in the contest very well. Met very heavily but fairly. It was Mitchell coming through. Hurd's down, slow to get up. He's having a snooze as Everett and Fletcher now work in the forward pocket. Assistance for the Bombers. Free kick. Free kick against Peter Everett and James Hurd. Eyes on the ball, running towards it. And Mitchell coming through. Elbow down. Bombers. Denham to half forward. The heat is really on in the contest now. Fraser chips it on out wide. Here's Buick. He runs. He straightens onto the right. He kicks the goal. Bombers back in front.
Well, it's been like this all day. No question about that. Nip and tuck. Players just going back and forward. James Hurd trying to find his feet. He's got them, but he's a bit giddy. Doesn't know where he is. But outstanding effort there by Essendon to bring that ball back. Looks as if St Kilda can carry it forward inside their 50 once more and kick the goal. As we see Heatley coming off the ground. And Buick to kick that goal as it's a pressure situation. Released there by Fraser. Good kick to put it in front of Buick. And Thompson able to run him down. Good finish.
One of the great finishers in the AFL, Darren Buick, putting Essendon up with the franchise lying prostrate in the centre. Now, another franchise player, Harvey, over the ball, had it socket away though. It comes out wide towards the wing. Winning the race is Mitchell, seen as the villain by the Bombers supporters. Did he have the ball? Play goes on. Lappin ran into a dead end, taken down. Ball spills towards the boundary line. Denham will get the free. Great tackle. Laid front on, not easy. One of the smallest men on the ground. Essendon lead by 3 points. Just over 2 minutes, a tick over 2 minutes to go.
Keeping's off.
And now they decide to eat a little clock. Somerville towards the 50 for distance this time. Hurd. A little unconvincing there. And we'll have a bounce right on the 50.
Stewie, if Essendon get the ball, we would expect them to play keepings off. Has anything been done during the week in order to counter that?
Not specifically this week, Terry, but obviously we've just got to man them up, make a contest.
So Essendon looking to get possession and maintain it. St Kilda looking to get it and break goal, but they can't. Kelthorpe just rolls across the line with the ball, and the ball will be thrown in. 25 and a half minutes into the last quarter. Alessio, Sierakowski, lock arms, Harvey out the back. This is St Kilda's push forward here now. Hardwick beats the ball. Mitchell again, this one's too high. So Mitchell had heavy contact with Hurd earlier. Now this one with Hardwick, and that one definitely too high. Umpire Hayden Kennedy right there. Hardwick will have to leave the ground because of the blood rule.
And a couple of players wanting to remonstrate with Mitchell, but Gary O'Donnell, so shrewd, got across there very quickly and hauled the Essendon players out. The last thing they wanted to do was cough up the ball. Always dangerous when a player leaves his feet. And Mitchell does that, and probably there's no defence. When you've got the football and someone jumps at you like that, chances are the repercussions aren't going to be good.
So O'Donnell to take the free kick. There is nobody behind Gary O'Donnell, and so we have 36 players, 35 players in front, and they find space. They find space and they find Hurd. Well, that's the mark of good players, that when everything is filled up, when all options are gone, somehow, somewhere they find one. James Hurd found that space. Look at that, the eyes darting. assessing the scoreboard, assessing the options.
Could be trying to refocus.
Assessing the clock. Kicks. A little bit like Darren Jarman the other night. To the top of the square and you've got a real chance to score. St Kilda have to move this ball extremely quickly from one end of the ground to the other at Waverley Park.
40 seconds to go. Shane Wakelin out of defence then. Fletcher over the top. Thumps it out of bounds. Stewie, how are you feeling at the moment? Helpless?
A lot worse up here than I would be down there, I tell you. They're totally helpless, exactly.
Throw in, left half forward. Clock frozen at 37 seconds. Everett decisively. Burke couldn't get it through. And this is a great result for the Bombers because the clock will continue to run here. Hurd slow to get up. We're down to 29 seconds. They've stopped the clock, but when the umpire's got the ball, he'll restart it. There we go. Just using some time. Now he bounces the ball. Seconds are precious. Everett thumps at the Saints' way. Brown onto the loose ball. We're down to 20 seconds. Mercedes has been wonderful. Goes to ground. Free kick is going to the Saints. There's a player down behind play. That's Brown. He's going to get the free, but they need to move it quickly. Brown feeling woozy. From the wing. Here come the Saints. Not the spot for it. He's come wide. Plenty of St Kilda players up. Fraser feeds it back. Olorenshaw slips over. Loose ball comes to Jones. Jones tried to go back inside. We're down to 3 seconds. I think they're going to lose this one, the Saints. What a game of footy. There can be only one winner. It's Essendon. What a finish. Buick grabbing that late goal. And Essendon are back in the top 8. Sung with a fair degree of gusto, and you get the feeling these two sides could meet again come September. They're certainly worthy. So finally, it was Essendon, home by 3 points, 14-6 to 13-9, round 17 at Waverley.